morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone you are watching this. It's your boy Robbie, and we back for React. This is going to be coming from the YouTube channel Sandra Faye. Black culture is destroying Black people. I can say that there are some elements of Black culture that can be demeaning and degrading, and so this should be interesting to see what exactly in Black culture is destroying it. I could think of a few things, like I said, some of the few that I just named, but let's see what this video is talking about. Let's not waste no time. Let's see what she's talking about. Let's go.
Black culture.
My issue is, India, is that all these years, my whole life, your whole life, these men, daddy whole life, great daddy whole life, they've been making songs about doing the worst. And now that women are doing it, and they're not even making the same, we ain't even talking about hurt nobody. We ain't even talking about no violence. We just said we want a scammer. We just said we want somebody with a little bit of money. But my issue is when women finally start making they type of ratchet music, now you want to say something? Let us in the ratchet hip-hop community do what we want. Let us make some Trina influenced music.
If everybody lived in the world of Jill Scott and all music was Jill Scott and India Reed and Afrocentric, we would be bored as fuck.
All the negative music that come out, you want to simply try to target a young Black female that's doing something positive, that's in her bag right now. But I know you old bad breath smelling ass bitches. I know you bitches. I know you. I know you mad. I know you hoes is mad and you jealous. Young Miami, you got not let these old raglan ass bitches deter nothing you trying to do.
Niggas are at the bottom of the totem pole of Black people. And on this timeline, niggas seem to be doing their big one. Niggas will write a character witness statement for a sex and human trafficker. A nigga will get pissed on and then brag about it on their show. Where we're going, niggas can't go. Trick Daddy looks like he has gout. We're not talking to a Trick Daddy. My Uncle Luke, he's just as disgusting from our timeline. Leave them niggas alone. Save yourself, India. Everyone cannot go. Everyone should not go. Fuck them.
Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. You can support uncensored conversations via Cash App or buying your girl a coffee. Hey y'all, I just want to pop in here and have this conversation. Now I know this is old tea. Your girl's been sick, so I have to kind of play catch up with a lot of these different topics that were popping while I was down and out. I did want to talk about this because it really does highlight the main issue that I have with Black culture. As you guys know, I love being Blackity Black. Before y'all get in here, start thugging about how I'm self-hating and all this other nonsense. No, I do love Black people. I love Black culture, the real Black culture, the positive Black culture. But what I do not like are the subsets of our culture that seek to promote the very stereotypes that we really try to fight back in like civil rights and so on and so forth. Carisha, she's one of those city.
I mean, before it even gets going, I'll say this. For the likes of Trick Daddy and Luke and them saying that if music was like on the India Reed, Jill Scott tip, Erykah Badu, things would be boring. Well, I'll say this. For the likes of Shorty who made the song Where All My Scamming, I think it's Young Miami, yeah. If you were to go into an establishment and they start profiling you and things like that, then what are you to say? Oh, you're being racist. Oh, it's just for entertainment. No, because entertainment depicts what goes on in real life. Same thing with the movies. Like, you know,
girls, you know, the one who loves golden showers from 60-year-old men.
It say take a shower if you like golden showers. I do.
Golden showers, meaning when the guy pees on you, pee on you everywhere. You like it?
I just like it.
You do? You like golden showers?
I do.
But like peeing on you?
I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just do something.
She came out with a song called Spend That. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know what this song sounds like. I have not heard the song. I have no desire to hear the song. I have read some of the lyrics, and it's basically a song promoting shoplifting. It's a song promoting boosting. It's a song promoting stealing. She came out with the song, it became like an anthem for the summer, of course. The problem that arises with things like this, and it's the same problem that I have with like gangster rap, where they talk about shooting and killing other Black people, committing other types of crimes, being thugs. The same problem that I have with that that I have with this song. We talk all the time about how we hate that we're portrayed as thugs. As soon as a black person is accused, not even proven guilty, but accused of committing a crime, they're often accused of being a thug. Oh, look at this little thug. Thug this, thug that. That's the first thing they want to call a black person that's been accused of a crime. Not convicted, not proven guilty, but accused of a crime. However, we sit around and
I think a lot of people, honestly, because they've seen both sides of the coin, when you try to be a positive, upright, upstanding black person, you still see them get done wrong. And so some people out here feel like, okay, well, if that's what you're going to think of me, I might as well go ahead and embrace it then, since that's what you're going to think of me anyway. Because if I do try to do the right thing and be a positive black man or black woman, you're going to say that you're going to find a reason to have an issue with me anyway. Not justifying it, not saying that you should just go off on the rails and just do it, but that might be what some people feel.
Promote thug culture within black culture. We sit over here and we praise the music that talks about shooting and killing other black people, that talks about committing these crimes. We promote it, we defend it, but then we get mad, we get angry when they call us thugs in the media. So in one breath, we like it, but in the other breath, we don't like it. So it's okay when we call ourselves thugs, but when other races of people call us thugs, then now it's a problem. And see, that's the part that's just not connecting for me.
India Reed is hating on Young Miami Spin That. What about an India Reed would make you think that she would be in support of a song like Spin That? So nothing about a song encouraging scamming would be something that she would be in support of. And her not being in support of a song like that would not automatically make it be her hating. It ain't no different than when y'all attack me for going against Sexy Red. Women like her, they need representation. They need representation until y'all are stereotyping non-black people are using those stereotypes against you. And then you want to bring up all the college-educated black women. Then you want to bring up all of the black women that own businesses. No. Bring up the Sexy Reds.
I agree. It's like, look, stand on that. You know what I'm saying? If you saying that the likes of Sexy Red and Suki Hana and all of them need to have representation in black culture, black women. So when the likes of other people that aren't black take those stereotypes or whatever and treat them a certain type of way, you can't get mad. You can't get mad. Because you can't tell somebody how they're supposed to react to a certain behavior. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not something that black people or people that aren't black are going to positively respond. They're not going to respond to that in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
Bring them up. Stop using the college-educated, business-owning, productive black women whenever people want to throw up stereotypes about you. Right? Stand 10 toes down in all of that representation of ghetto hood trash activity that you like to be pedestalized.
If we don't like being portrayed as thugs, then we really shouldn't promote thug culture. Similarly, with this song called Spend That, if we do not like that we get followed around in stores, if we do not like the fact that we get picked out of the crowd and assumed to be the stealer, the thief, if we don't like that, then why are we sitting over here hyping up music that portrays us as exactly that? You cannot push forth a culture that says we're thugs and stealers and then be shocked when people treat us like thugs and stealers. It all really boils down to that Dave Chappelle joke. You go out into the world dressed like a police officer, people are going to assume you are a police officer. And if you try to tell them that you're something different and it's not Halloween, they're going to look at you crazy. This is the issue that I ultimately have with a lot of this. Is that we can't sit over here and hype up things that are negative, hype up stereotypes, hype them up, and then get mad when those same stereotypes are thrown back in our faces. It's really disheartening, because when I'm out here trying to defend us, y'all will come up behind me promoting the very thing that they are accusing us of doing when we're not doing it. Y'all will sit over here and promote the very thing, and that's infuriating. But if I say something about it, if I say Carisha is a degenerate, if I come out and I call call out all of these different things, these folks are going to say that I'm self-hating. I'm the raccoon for not wanting us to be portrayed like this in the media, for not wanting us to have our image tainted so badly that we cannot benefit from any halo effect. We cannot benefit from the benefit of the doubt when it comes to the courtroom. Y'all will sit over here and promote all this negative, degenerate nonsense. And then when people go into those courtrooms, our peers go into those courtrooms and they see us as exactly what we portray in the media and they can't see past it, you want to get mad about it. The fact of the matter is we need to clean up our image. The fact of the matter is we have an optics issue.
And you know what's so crazy about this is that this is honestly bigger than us. It's bigger than we think. And what I mean by that is the very people that will stereotype us are the very ones that are actually pushing this agenda. Because make no mistake, Black people, we are not the ones controlling the airwaves. We are not the ones that are running and operating these platforms where this music lives. You know, so that's where it starts. But then the minute, again, we decide that, all right, we're not going to promote that type of music, we're going to be on a positive tip, they will have a problem with that. Because that is what's making them money. Okay? Everybody is profiting on our pain and suffering. I've heard that. Y'all probably heard that before. Every other group of people are going to profit and make money off of our pain and suffering. You know, the music that we make that isn't in a positive light, that's going to impact the neighborhood. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And unfortunately, our degenerates make the block hot for the rest of us. So if you, as a well-to-do Black person, get accused of a crime that you did not do, you walk into that courtroom, guess what? They're looking at you the same way they're going to look at the degenerates that are out there committing the crimes, that are out there showing their ass, that are out there making us look a hot damn mess. You unfortunately have to carry the bag of their bull. Even if you are an upstanding person, just an upstanding American citizen, you have to carry that bag. And that's the problem. It absolutely is the problem. And to pretend like people do not engage in pattern recognition, and to pretend like people should just not engage in pattern recognition, and they should just not have any, like, that's just, it's unreasonable. It's unrealistic. We need to actively live in the real world. In the real world, people engage in pattern recognition. In the real world, they see a pattern of behaviors amongst a group of people, and they're going to assume the worst or the best if that pattern is positive. So to sit over here and complain about it, but you're not willing to do the work to change the perception of who we are, but rather you want to feed into the very thing that makes us look like thugs, thieves, whores, then guess what? You are the problem. You're the very reason why they look at us that way. Folks will get out here and they'll say, oh, well, it's just a song. It's just a song. But you have to understand that it's not just a song, okay? Culture is very important for a people. Your culture really does give a backdrop on how people are going to look at you.
I mean, yeah, let's be for real. Music is a part of every single culture on this planet. Whether you're Indian, Chinese, Black, Spanish, Caucasian, Scottish, Irish, you know what I'm saying? Russian, German, every single group of people on this planet has music attached to their culture. Because music is therapeutic. It's a way of communication. It's a way to rejoice. Okay? So, in our culture, when you look at the majority of the music, it's not music that is there to rejoice and communicate in a certain way. Yeah, we'll sing the chants and we'll laugh and stuff like that, but does it have real staying power? Is it really impactful? Is it powerful? Like this Young Miami song, will we be singing this song in a year or two? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just for the moment. You know what I mean? So yeah, music is very important. And the messages that is in the music is important as well. Now, make no mistake, I do listen to Benny the Butcher and Conway the Machine and West Side Gun and all those guys. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I do listen to some what they would deem as, bad music, but I have balance though. I do listen to jazz, John Coltrane, Miles Davis, you know what I'm saying, Marcus Miller. You feel me? I do listen to old school music. I got a country playlist. Like I have a very diverse library of music that I listen to. You know what I'm saying?
That's why when we look at, for instance, Japanese culture, they have a high emphasis on honor for your family, honor for yourself. So when you see a Japanese person, that's going to be something that plays in the back of your mind. Oh, they value honor. Even if that person is extremely dishonorable, that's going to be the backdrop that you view them on because that is what their culture is. Similarly, when we look at Indian culture, we have so many, and I'm talking about Indians, not Native Americans for the slow people in the back. When we talk about Indian culture, they're known for being scammers. Not all of them are scammers, obviously, just like not all Japanese people are honorable, but the culture behind them promotes scamming. So yes, that is going to be the backdrop of how a lot of people view an Indian person when they first meet them. So these are things that we have to keep in mind. And it's not just a song. It's not just a song. Our music, the way that we dress, our different cultural expressions, all of that really does shape how we are viewed ourselves and then how we are viewed by society. And be so for real here, if music had no influence, the music industry would not be as big as it is. It would not be as big as it is. They wouldn't care as much as they do about music if it wasn't influential.
The illustrious prison industrial complex has low numbers. In our timeline, it was busting out the seams. Remember, we had the crack epidemic, gangs. On this one, they are low and the prison population is dying out. So they need new niggas. And why not get a scammer and a booster? Get them to think scamming and boosting is cool because they're impressionable and they'll actually go out and do it. Kiki Palmer, I love boosters. See the trends on this timeline? When they get arrested, like the mom and daughter did, be safe out here because everybody's telling on themselves and each other. The police on this timeline don't even have to do any work. Let them believe that it's not a big deal that their 5-6-year-olds are singing this. Let them believe that. Prison pipeline. We have other things to do. That's exactly why progress has not been made the way that it could have been.
And as I've said before, you cannot complain about a...
And you know what's so messed up is that they would try to silence her, whether that be, just demonetizing her videos or, blocking them. They'll try to silence her because the powers that be, the machine, cannot afford to be shut off. They are making a boatload of money, not just in music, but like I said, prison industrial complex, all of that. This is a money-making machine, and we as Black people, we are the oil that keeps that machine running, unfortunately. You know what I mean? It's kind of sad.
Stereotype and then celebrate it. So we celebrate it amongst ourselves, but let somebody else call it out and now it's a problem. That is called a contradiction. When we say we hate being followed around in stores and everybody assuming we're the ones stealing, when we say that we hate that, but then we sit over here and we promote a song that says stealing is good, steal, boosters, shout out to the boosters who are stealers, then you can't then be upset about the damn stereotype because you promote that damn stereotype. You promote it.
Well, make no mistake too. I mean, this doesn't affect Young Miami in the least bit. She's already got money. She's in the industry. She's connected. So she doesn't have to worry about anybody close to her being profiled and being treated a certain type of way because she's got money. So that's the thing with these musicians. It doesn't directly impact them like it does people who are not. You know what I mean? That got to go to work every day. That got to go to school. That got to deal with certain people, got to live in certain areas while your music is blasting through the airwaves and people listening to it, to the chants and things like that, and being put under a form of hypnosis because music can do that. It can put you in a trance, okay, and have you acting it out. That's why a song is structured the way it is. They give you the lyrics, the hook, chorus, you know what I mean? It's all by design. It's to hypnotize you.
That's like some OnlyFans girl getting out here, spreading her thought pocket all over the internet, and then being mad. Being mad when people call her exactly that, a thought pocket. Since you did it to yourself. You the one put the cootie cat all over the internet. We didn't do that to you. You did that to yourself. So you can't be mad when people view you as a whore if you're gonna go on the internet and present yourself as a whore. Be so for real here. We can't be mad that people view us as thieves and thugs when the culture promotes thieving and thuggery. And for the slow people in the back, I'm not saying we deserve to be stereotyped. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is we live in reality. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And the more we feed into these negative stereotypes about ourselves, the more we promote them within our culture. Because guess what? When we're sitting over here jamming out to songs like Spin That or these other songs that promote killing other Black people and gang behavior, understand it's not happening in a vacuum. Everybody else can see it too. It's not like when we sit over here and we jam out to these songs or we promote these things that it just stays amongst us. No, you are on the grand stage. Whenever you put something out there on social media, you are on the grand stage for everybody else to view you, to view us. It's going to happen. People are going to stereotype just the same way that we stereotype other people, okay? Black folks, we want to get out here and talk about how stereotypes are bad. We stereotype other people too. Just like as soon as people saw the picture of Nolan with all them white boys, we started stereotyping immediately. Now, whether or not that has merit to the case is not the point. The point is everybody stereotypes. And if we do not want to fall victim to negative stereotypes, it would behoove us to not feed into and validate said stereotypes. And I do want to talk about the backlash that India.Arie received because y'all funky as hell for that. Y'all are absolutely disgusting for that. She raised very reasonable concerns. And you want to know what it's met with? Oh, you just jealous. You just old. You just old. You just jealous.
Yeah, I mean, it was messed up. And you know, I'm pretty sure India.Arie knew from the giddy up that she was going to receive a lot of backlash for that because, listen, one thing you have to understand is in this industry, particularly music, if you have any type of opinion that goes against the grain, that goes against the status quo, you really are going to be on that hill by yourself. You're going down that hill alone. This isn't to say you're not going to have some people that are going to be in agreement with you, but the masses are going to have an issue with what you're saying because they're always going to bring up, well, y'all were doing this in y'all day. Y'all were doing this and doing that. Now that somebody who's younger is doing it, you have an issue with it. Nobody is saying that what they did back then was good either because we're still feeling the effects of that now. You know what I mean? And this is why I genuinely feel when it comes to music or when it just comes to anything that we do in the form of in the arts, we really need to make that like our own. We don't need to be having other people's hands in the pot. That's what I'm saying. Any music in this day and age that is distributed by Black people is not distributed by Black people. It's distributed by the likes of people that don't look like us. They're the ones getting the money. They could give if this affects young boys and girls, you know, going out here telling them to spin that and being a scammer and all this other stuff, because it is going to feed a particular pipeline, that being the prison industrial complex at some point or another. So it really is going to be a war to the end, trying to break free of these stereotypes and just having somebody control our narrative, you know?
Jealous of the young girls. You just jealous. She's never been. She's never been the jealous type. Have y'all not heard her songs? I'm not your average girl from the video. Stop playing with me and stop playing with her. She been true to this.
It's just lyrics. So when this girl, India.Arie or whoever the hell it is, listen, I have no problem with these Afrocentric type people, but they're always jumping into the conversation of wanting art to be created like they are. If everybody lived in the world of Jill Scott and all music was Jill Scott and India.Arie and Afrocentric, we would be bored as fuck. I'm sorry. I love their music. I appreciate their music. I appreciate their artistic values. But at the end of the day, why are you having a conversation about something that's considered as art? Think about it. Where is it?
First of all, Uncle Luke, you make no goddamn sense. Stick to making booty music, okay? Rapping about and shit like that. Like, the nigga made the song Doodle Brown. So I don't expect him to have a rational thing to say about this. We would all be bored. So you need hypersexual lyrics and criminal activity in your songs so you're not bored?
So for y'all to get out here and deflect from the point that she's bringing up to she's jealous and old just goes to show that y'all are not mentally there to even have the conversation. Y'all are behaving like children, not adults ready to come and have a conversation about what we can do to be better. Y'all sitting over here addressing her, the person, rather than the criticism, the critique. Discuss that. And I want to also make this abundantly clear. Wanting higher standards for our culture, for our community, is not a rejection of Black culture in its entirety. There are so many beautiful things within our culture that we can amplify, that we can shine a light on. But for some reason, we're allowing the subset of degenerates to take the spotlight. And then our bourgeoisie Blacks, they think they need to defend it because of white supremacy. Because if you say anything counter to any culture within Black culture, be it subset or the main overall culture, if you say anything against that, then you're a talking head for the white supremacists. Look at you. You're speaking that white supremacy talk. And that's not the case. Just because you reject a subset of the culture does not mean you reject the culture as a whole, nor does it mean that you are feeding into the ideals of white supremacy. Black people, I want you to understand, we have the capacity to have standards. We do. We can pick and choose. We don't have to take the whole. We can toss out the rotten apples and keep the ones that are good and healthy. We don't have to just hold it all because we just want to get one up or get one over or prove something to white supremacists. Y'all put too much emphasis on white people, and that's the reason why our own culture is deteriorating, because y'all want to fight white supremacy so bad that you will sit over here and cape for negative, intrinsically negative things just because white people said it's bad, even if it's in a general sense, actually bad. Stop justifying negative things just because white people don't like it. Like, just remove white folks from the conversation entirely. Is this something that is a net positive that we should all universalize? Like, that's my favorite, ethical framework to put things under. Can this be replicated by everybody and be positive for the world that we live in? If the answer is no, if the answer is, well, if everyone did it, then I wouldn't be able to do it because the security would be higher, then no, you just want to skirt the system. You expect that everybody else is not going to do it and you're going to be the few that do it and you can get away with it. So it's not something you can universalize, and it shouldn't be universalized. That is the framework that I love to put everything through. I believe it was Immanuel Kant. If this behavior that you are promoting cannot be universalized for all Black people within the culture to start behaving and presenting themselves as such, then it shouldn't be promoted. It just shouldn't be promoted. If it's something that is inherently negative, it should not be promoted. Take white people completely out of the conversation. We can self-govern. We don't have to compare ourselves to white people to have standards. And you don't have to say, well, you just have white standards. No, it's just a standard by itself. Y'all are obsessed with white people and it shows.
Yeah, I would agree that we don't need to be continuing to do things because, be careful, they're watching. We shouldn't be doing it for those reasons. Okay, we should be wanting to evolve because we want to. You know what I'm saying? We want to be the best thing known to man. You know what I mean? We shouldn't be doing things because we don't want our white counterparts to think any other way of us. They already do, most of them. They already think that way. So it's not even really gonna matter. We need to more so focus. This is what I'm saying. The problem with us, in my opinion, as Black people is too many people are in our damn business. You know what I mean? You got too many establishments that are living in the areas that we occupy that shouldn't necessarily be there. You know what I mean? But then when you go out to their neighborhoods, you don't see any of our businesses. You know what I'm saying? If you go to a neighborhood where it's predominantly, Asian or white, you are not going to see any Black establishment. We may, at the most part, might pull up with a food truck to feed people, but that's about it. You know what I mean? So we just have way too many people in our business, and we need to make our business private business. You know what I'm saying? Look, this is how we move in. We move lock and key, lock and step. We're not doing that. We're not on that. But too many people, honestly, they love this shit here. There's way too many black people that are infatuated with this fast lifestyle where people are swapping people and doing all kinds of weird they love it.
Even if you're obsessed with them in a negative way, we have the ability to have cultural standards and promote positivity within ourselves.
And India Irie is not hating on nobody. She has said what a lot of us have been thinking for a long time. There are some of us in the black community that we are tired of ratchet culture. We're tired of ratchet music. We're tired of ratchet people. We're tired of ghetto activity. And for decades, the black community has been going down. We have been going down and down since the 90s. And the music that we're all listening to, it plays a fact on how we interact with each other and how we treat each other. If you go back to our grandparents' day, when they had singers like Patti LaBelle, Anita Baker, Marvin Gaye, you know, all those singers who they sung about love, peace, and unity. The black community was more civilized. We still had issues and we still battle with racism, but we were more civilized as a people during that time.
We were definitely more in sync and we were more together back then. I mean, just look at the boycott of the buses. You know what I mean? We got on one agenda and we basically bankrupt the transportation system. I think that was in Alabama. Y'all can correct me. It's been so long. But that just goes to show you what can happen if we were to do that. And see, the powers that be have been doing overtime to make sure that something like that does not happen again. When is the last time we did any type of boycotting? We did the Target thing and they did lose money, right? But it was short-lived. You know, it didn't really do the damage for real because they don't necessarily need the black dollar to make money for this economy. It helps. You know, our $1 trillion buying power does help. But it's not, you know, they could still maintain even without it. But it would sting. It would.
You turn on the radio now, all you hear about is smacks, 304 activity, scamming somebody, how men don't care about women, a man busting a woman down and he ain't gave her nothing. What else? Anything that's just ratchet and vulgar. Trap music. I agree with India Irie and Carrie Hilson when they say that if music can heal people, music can hurt people. But as a black community, we need to be pulling away from ratchet culture and really going towards something more civilized. It is okay for us as a race of people to act like we got some sense, to be civilized. We don't always have to be ghetto all the time.
So we really do have to ask ourselves, what kind of culture do we want? Do we want to be respected? Do we want to have opportunities? Do we want to be trustworthy? Do we want to have a strong community?
I'm going to tell you what we need. What we as black people need, we need to be able to have our own. We need to have our own identity. We need to have our own everything. Just like everybody else on this planet. There's enough space and opportunity for that. I'm tired of us being the guinea pigs for everybody else. For any new rollout, they always use us as the test dummies. Okay, let's see. If the black people are rocking with it, okay, then it must be, you know what I'm saying? I'm tired of that. I want to be able to say, you know what? When I take a fiat note or some money out of my pocket, I see somebody that looks like me. Okay? I want to be able to say, you know what? My people, we have our own sports leagues that do good. You know what I mean? Things like that. Things like that. I want the playing field to be level, like seriously level. Like, I don't think it's leveled enough. People say, oh, there's plenty of opportunity. They've evened the playing field. You can go out here and become rich and do this, da, 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 da. Listen, most of us as black people, our richness that we've acquired was based off of our dealings with the likes of people that don't necessarily look like us, in my opinion. When it comes to certain companies that you invest in, they're not black-owned companies. You know what I'm saying? So your hopes in making all of this money and being a success is dependent on your white counterpart and this system that they built. You know what I mean? I know I'm going off on a tangent, but you know, she said something that really stuck out. So I felt like, let me get that off my chest, but let's continue.
So then we need to leave
Let's
songs
try to
like
get through
Spin
most of
That
this.
and all the other ratchet stuff that's been coming out for decades. Okay, because that's another argument. Oh, you're just mad now. No, we've been mad, but y'all don't want to hear it. Y'all be deaf, dumb, and blind every single time stuff like this gets called out and you act like it's the first time people are complaining. No, people been complaining about this. Y'all just don't want to hear it. So we have to really ask ourselves, what kind of community do we want? Because if we're going to continue to promote all this degenerate nonsense, then our community is going to stay exactly where it is, in the gutter. We're going to stay exactly where we are, at the bottom. And we're going to be sitting back looking at everybody else like, oh my God, why do you guys view us this way? As we actively present ourselves that way. It's slow. It makes no effing sense. You cannot promote negative behaviors and then be mad when people view you negatively. If we want better for our community, if we want better for our culture, then we have to promote positivity. We have to promote education. We have to promote honor, self-respect, dignity, integrity. These are things that we have to promote within our communities, within our families, within ourselves. If we truly want to change the tide on how we are viewed in society, how we are treated in society. So I'm gonna need y'all to get the heck up off the good sis. Leave her the hell alone. All you old Negroes out here supporting Carisha and supporting all the degeneracy, understand you are the very ones that have failed the community and have failed the culture. And I don't want to hear nothing you gotta say. Absolutely nothing. I don't want to hear nothing you gotta say. You and among others are the very reason why we are in the predicament that we are in. We used to be able to blame propaganda and slavery and all these other things, Jim Crow. We used to be able to blame all of that as for the reason why we are in the situations that we're.
But you know what else we could also do real quick? We could turn the radio off. That's a start. What we could start doing is just like not listening to it. You know what I mean? Don't listen. That'll hurt them. You know what I'm saying? If you don't listen to it, if it's not getting the spin that they were looking for, then you know you're doing something.
We're in. But at a certain point, we have to self-reflect. At a certain point, we have to look at ourselves. What am I doing to make the situation worse? What am I doing to keep myself in that situation? Because you can't keep pointing the finger at everybody else and never looking in that dang blasted mirror. But y'all, I am curious to hear you guys' thoughts down below. How do you feel about this whole video? Do you agree with me where it's like, yeah, you can't sit over here and make it an anthem about stealing and then be mad that you get followed around in stores? You cannot be mad when people view you as a thug and a gangster when you promote nothing but thuggery and gang life in your music and culture. Like, you can't sit over here and walk out your house looking like a whore and then be mad when someone approaches you and asks you how much. You can't be mad.
Yeah.
You have to live in reality instead of living in this fantasy world where you can promote all these negative behaviors and then people look at you like a blank slate, a tabula rasa, as you will. You cannot go out there and portray yourself as an ass and expect people to overlook all of that and just see you as innocent until proven guilty. Like, it doesn't make sense. That's not how people behave. That's not how people think. We have to operate in reality and not fiction, not utopia or some made up world where people just don't stereotype. They don't. Just because they shouldn't doesn't mean that they won't. We can get into all the, well, they shouldn't and they shouldn't and they shouldn't, but guess what they do? So we have to work and operate within the reality that people do use stereotypes to make decisions, that people do have a first thought about you based on what you look like. We have to live in that reality because that is the reality we live in. And trying to operate outside of that reality is just gonna cause even more problems than we already have. Or do you disagree with me where it's like, no, Sandra, you're just anti-black and I'm gonna be bumping Spin That. And when I walk around the store, they bet not follow me around, even though I'm blasting a song that says, hey, I'm a thief. I am curious to hear you guys' thoughts down below. If you like the video, The more you interact with it, the more it gets pushed out into the algorithm. Also, hype the video if that's for you. If you're feeling a little extra generous, the link is in the description to buy your girl a coffee. Thank you guys so much, and I will see y'all with the next one. Deuce.
All right, yo, shouts out to her, man. Let me go ahead and Give her a like. I'm actually go ahead and sub to the channel. There we go. Sandra Faye. Shout outs to her, man. That was a really good video there. I agree with her 100%. You know, we got to change the narrative. You know what I mean? If we want to see change, we got to start changing. You know, we got to let these record executives know, like, look, we're not putting out that type of music. If you got a problem with it, then you're just going to have a problem with it. You know what I mean? So, or we just create our own labels, just do our own thing, separate from everybody else, have our own rules and boundaries and stuff like that. Us blacks that were, you know, born and raised here. You know what I mean? It might be time to restructure the culture. Maybe we should start developing our own language that we all understand and know. You feel me? Having certain customs and things. It's very possible. We could do it. We've done it in the past. We've done it before. We just got to get everybody on board. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Make sure you check that like button, sub to the channel, and be sure to sound off in them comments until your asses is kicked out. All that being said, it's your boy Robbie. Till the next video, we gone.